Hello, everyone. I'm Rohan Sharma, and today we'll be speaking with Luis. Why don't you go ahead and tell us more about yourself?
Thank you, Rohan. My name is Luis Martinez. I am a geologist with Geosynta Consultants based out of our Long Beach office. I graduated from the University of California, Irvine in 2016 with a bachelor's in Earth System Science, and I received a master's in hydrogeology from Illinois State University in 2019.
Great. So to start this off, how did you become interested in this field, and what kind of things motivated you or inspired you to pursue a field in ESS and hydrology?
Yeah, so my first year, I enrolled in what was called the first year integrated program, where you take a series of courses throughout your first year to try and knock out as many GEs as possible, while focusing on a certain topic, and that topic was water. So the first quarter was the engineering and science, second quarter was history, and the last one was urban policy. So it was professors. I'm blanking on the engineering. Actually, I'm just blanking on all of them actually now. The last one was Feldman from urban policy in spring. And then one of the friends I made in that class was an ESS major, and when I was undecided, undeclared. I was trying to figure things out. I was really interested in hydrology after taking that class, and eventually ended up in ESS.
Sounds great. So I know how you got into this field, but how do you think other people, get into this field, and like what are some kind of common entry level jobs that can get people to start looking into this field?
Yeah, so hydrology is really broad. I would recommend, since I assume mostly students watching, talk to the graduate students, talk to your professors, because some of them are studying hydrology, or they know someone who's in hydrology or any field of science that field of environmental science or science that you might be interested in. They'll know someone, and they can introduce you to them. You know, just reach out and start asking questions. And ask them how they got into their first job. Well, the way I got my first job was, you know, basically luck and a little bit of my resume and my enthusiasm for hydrology. I was actually got in contact with a third party recruiting agency who was hiring for Irvine Ranch Water District. Initially they weren't hiring for that position, but I they called me and they're like, "Oh, we like you. If anything comes up, we'll let you know." And then about a week later, they gave me a call back. I'm out working with my dad, and I recognize the number, and I'm like, I don't know if I should pick up. I've been getting a lot of no's lately. He's like, no, 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 pick up. You never know. And I picked up, and then I had an interview of 2 days later, and I got the job. And that was my introduction to hydrology in past UCI.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely trying to make connections with as many people as you can, and just trying to find your way through that is honestly what I've seen is most helpful for me personally.
Mhm.
Um, so how would you say your undergrad degree in ESS, how is that translated to your job now?
Uh, the System Science degree was kind of broad. What really helped me were the connections, the people I met, and also just being a critical thinker. There's some aspects of my job that where my master's was a little bit more applicable, where the technical knowledge was a lot more useful. But with UCI, it was more being a critical thinker and being able to be a problem solver. I actually just had my review yesterday, and that was the number one most common thing people said about me was that, oh, Luis is a problem solver.
Hmm. Awesome. So kind of going off that, what other skills or abilities are essential to being successful in your job as a hydrologist?
Knowing the science, and being able to think critically. Anyone can, make a time series of concentrations. I think the most common thing while I was an undergrad that was spewed to me was, CO2 levels are over 400 parts per million, and we, it's a lot higher now. But the thing is, how do we know that, and how,
Hmm.
what is the question we're asking, and what are we trying to figure out?
Yeah. Okay. So what is something that you think surprised you the most as your first couple of years in your career? Like, or even in the last like few months or the year, what's something that has surprised you since being in your career?
I think my out of my first job, it was how little of my degree was actually being used
Mm-hmm.
for that specific job. You know, it was more you learn on the people always tell me too is like you're gonna learn a lot, you're gonna learn most of what you need on the job, and it
Definitely.
didn't really click until I was there experiencing it myself.
Yeah. Okay. And how would you say, do you think you're able to establish like a work-life balance, or how, if not, how are you able to work around that to, keep yourself sane and, keep your mental health a priority?
Oh, definitely. I am really lucky with the company I work with that they really advocate for a work-life balance,
Mm-hmm.
and not every consulting company is like that. And I have a really good team just within the Long Beach office. So like, are you working too much? We don't want you to go over 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't get too much work on the weekends, fortunately for me. Uh, I'm lucky that I feel comfortable being able to go up to my higher ups and say, when I am being stressed out, saying, there's too much on my plate, I need a vacation, you know, or I am going to go on vacation. Can you please respect not calling me, not emailing me, unless it's an emergency?
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah,
that's
but
great.
I am a bit of a workaholic, and I think the people around me all are workaholics and are passionate about the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we just end up being working on vacation, or answering a quick call,
Yeah.
working a little later. But I don't mind. I like it.
Yeah. No, that's great. Um, is there anything that you wish you had known before you started in this industry that could have helped you?
Yeah, I think what people are looking for someone straight out of college.
Okay.
What does like each position mean at each company.
Mm-hmm.
For my industry, you start as a staff scientist, and then you go senior staff, and then professional, where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I didn't know, so that's what one of the reasons I became a mentor is try and help students that want to go straight from college, probably to career, or maybe graduate school and then career,
Mm-hmm.
and help them find the right jobs that are the right fit, not just apply for any job that's hiring.
Yeah.
Because people are always hiring, and you might get the job, and you might not like it down the road.
Yeah. All right, then the last question I have for you is what kind of advice would you give to someone who is considering becoming a hydrologist or even just working in the ESS field in general?
Take those specific courses
Mm-hmm.
for hydrology. It doesn't have to be at UCI. I think that was, I learned a lot more at Illinois State in terms of hydrogeology specific, but you don't have to get it just at UCI. You can get it at an internship,
Mm-hmm.
and advocate for yourself if you're trying to get that internship. Tell them why you're passionate about it, what got you interested in it, and then ask them how they got into it.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you so much for your time, and this will conclude the interview.